Episode 63. We got Batman and Robin. We have Duke. And we have the Hulk. In this episode, let's check it out right now. Alright, welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thank you so much for spending your time with me and my tirades about movies and television and comics. So let's get into it. Before we do, my name is Frank Zanca. I'm your host. I'm an award-winning screenwriter, novelist, and comic book writer. And if we're talking about comics, then let's talk about my comic that is now in late pledge. It's by Vampire Mob, set in 1950s Hollywood. It is the Lords of L.A. Issue 1 and Issue 2 are both 45 pages long. Here is Issue 1, and then Issue 2 is up there as well. They're both, again, 48 pages long and exciting. So we just went to late pledge with it. The Kickstarter was successful. It would be nice for me to be able to pay for a few of the more pages, not out of my pocket. So if you can help me out, that'd be greatly appreciated. The link is in the description below. Or you can go right to Indiegogo and go into Lords of LA, and it'll pop right up. All right. Thank you so much if you can do that. And let's get into the new books for this week. So we got a Batman and Robin. It's an annual. They're not even numbering them anymore. They just put in the year. So this is, I do not like annuals that do multi storylines that are amalgams. I don't like those. So this one I picked up because it was one story. So Batman decides that it gets a little weird because Robin says, you know, like, what's an outing or something like that. So they start out with, they're chasing these crooks, of course. And we get, I mean, the artwork is very stylized. And anyway, they capture them. And Batman and Robin says, what's a road trip? Come on, man. You don't think Robin knows what a road trip is? Come on. Come on. So anyway, that's the story of this thing. And then they decide that they're going to go on this road trip out of Gotham. And it was kind of out of character for Bruce to say, oh, well, Gotham could take care of itself for a night. So, all right, I discounted that. So I liked how they have the little vests on and their colors are their colors of their costume. I thought that was pretty good. So they go off into this campground where they just happen to find a dead body. Really? They just happen to find a dead body. So you really got to take a leap of faith here because the writer thinks you're an idiot. And this is written by Joshua Williamson. So I like some of the stuff he's done, but the setup for this story is not good. So all of a sudden they're in a force field that they didn't have going in there, but they just happened to have when they leave. So now we switch over to this house where all of these assassins or whatever else are being greeted by this woman here. And she's like, you all had your buy-in, and her name is Roulette. And you all had your, multi-million-dollar buy-in, so, we have 2 campers out there. So have at it. And then Bloodsport shows up, which is the same guy from the Suicide Squad movie. And meanwhile, Batman and Robin are deciding that they're going to set traps a la Rambo. All right, so they both turn into Rambo, and they set all these traps up, and then they go make s'mores. Okay, we're going to just make s'mores, and they're going to cook, and they just wait for all of the traps to get gone. Okay. So one of the guys gets his leg trapped, they fall into holes, and meanwhile they're just having a conversation while all this is going on. So, and then Bloodsport shows up, and he, shoots their knapsacks there, and they're like, or sleeping bags, and they're like, oh, he's not here. These guys are not regular, just campers. Well, what's going on here, Roulette? And she's like, well, I don't know. And then we get into this, Batman telling Robin about Bloodsport. So he's like, oh, and who is Bloodsport? Da-da-da! So it's written kind of weird. So I always like the look of Bloodsport. I think I would have liked to have seen him with the helmet more in the movie. But I know Idris Elba wanted to see his face, more times than not. But so we get an attack by Bruce, and then Robin goes after Roulette. I don't know if they really say how the force field came down, but we get this. I guess he's standing against a gargoyle or something like that, so it looks like he's got wings. I don't know. But then they capture him, and then they have called the cops, because I guess when they got out of the thing, they could actually use the reception of their satellite phone or whatever, and that is the extent of that. And he asks him, we got this, nice last splash page, and he asks him, did you know that Roulette was there doing that? Is that why we went on this road trip and did this outing? And Bruce really doesn't reply. So we assume as readers that he went there as a mission, but under the guise of them spending time together. So we'll make a good film or television show. No, this isn't really that good. It's okay. It was kind of fun while I was sitting there. But I'm just like, yeah, it has a lot of holes in it. So it's at best, an average book. So, all right, so let's get into Hulk. So this is number 8. So this is the whole storyline with, and this is Philip Kennedy Johnson. So this is the whole storyline with the Hulk, more of a horror type setting, where it's Monster of the Week happening. So that there's a big monster, kind of, how to word this, invoking, I guess is best thing, with other monsters, and I think this particular monster wants to take over Hulk as a vessel. So he's infected by this other entity that we're fighting here, and meanwhile you have the Ghost Rider from World War II, who's there to protect his family. So the motorcycle's there with like rotten and it's rusted. It's got plant life all over it, but when a monster appears, he appears. And he's got his grandson or whatever else in the sidecar there, and he's like, woohoo! Blow him up, daddy! Or granddaddy? Grandpappy? Hulk's not really having any of it, but there's also there's other monsters, jumping around on this horseback. And then inside Hulk, the entity talks to Bruce Banner, and Hulk appears in there because he attacks Banner. And the entity doesn't fare well for the entity in there. So Hulk is slowly trying to gain control of his body, and he throws like a mashed up car at the guys on the horseback, and he takes off some heads there. It's like some sound effects there. And then we see the entity itself, and we see how big it is in this big splash page. And the Hulk uses the chains from Ghost Rider, and Ghost Rider, gets his legs, and he takes them around the neck, and he misses completely with the sword. Hulk takes it over there, but then that's where he goes in with the chains there. And then we get the next couple of pages of them, wrapping the chains around him in different ways and tripping him down and him choking him. And he's like, no, my master's going to get you anyway. Don't worry. I'm going to come back and I'm going to get you as a vessel and all this stuff. So it's all one big action scene for the most part. But they take out this demon. But the demon, of course, warns them that he's going to be back. And, you know, their big baddie's going to be back and stuff like that. And that's the end of it. And then the motorcycle returns to normal. And the ghostwriter tells him to take care of Charlie because it's all going to be about Charlie in the future. So, yeah. And then I didn't get a chance to read this yet, but we have this whole thing about the monster. But, yeah, I like it. Philip Kennedy Johnson doing a good job with this one. And it's that the monster, the horror side of Monster of the Week thing kind of works really well with Hulk. Nobody's really tried that before, as far as I know. And, you know, the transformations, which we didn't get in this, but in some of the other ones, we get some very hard transformations with going back and forth between Hulk and Banner. So, yeah, it would make a good film and television show? Absolutely. So far, I'm really waiting to see where this goes. I'm waiting to see where this goes with Charlie and who the big baddie eventually is. It's gonna be pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to that, and I look forward to this book every time I buy it. And speaking of that, let's get into G.I. Joe with Duke here. So this is issue 2. This is by Joshua Williamson, the same guy who wrote the Batman one. Although I think that the writing on this is far better than what it was for the Batman one. So Duke goes to see Clutch because he needs his help, and plus he's wounded. And Clutch lives on this whole, I don't know what it is, tire camp? I don't know what the hell that is. And so Duke shows up, but he's not really showing that he's hurt. And I guess he had a girl there that he doesn't remember her name. So she smacks him across the face. I can't believe you. I'm out of here, Clutch. And they're like, yeah, whatever, bye. And then Duke basically almost collapses, and he tells Clutch about seeing Starscream. Not that he knows Starscream, but he shows a big giant robot that killed his people, and, you know, what that Hawk threw him away. And so he has this phone, I guess it's like a phone, but he doesn't know how to activate it, and Clutch takes the bullets out, etc. So he gets this map. Clutch is able to get this thing working, and it shows him a map, and then we see Destro down there. And all of a sudden they walk out, and they get shot at by Rock and Roll. And things are not going well. They blow up Clutch's restored muscle car, and he ain't happy about that. So they drive out in the Vamp. I guess they had the Vamp in the garage. They drive out. It doesn't last very long though, because they're shooting the hell out of it, and it hits a tree. Yeah, because Stalker shoots him with that's a big ass gun, man. That is a big ass sniper gun. That'll take somebody's arm off. And then he goes to hand Stalker, and Stalker's not having any of it. And he kicks him in the face. Whoop-ah! And they're just basically standing over him, and Stalker kicks him in the head just to make sure he's out. And they take him to the pit, which is their holding area. And he's like, look, you got to listen to me. This is all this stuff that's going on. And who's next door in the other cell but Baroness. So not a whole lot happens in this issue, but it is action-packed. And I'm really liking it. I really like how they're kind of unveiling the characters as they go. It's lots of fun, and I like this a lot better than Larry Hama's stuff that's in Real American Hero. So I'm really waiting to see where this goes, because we also have the thing with Cobra Commander going on, where he has Megatron, and this guy's Duke is going after Starscream on kind of a revenge mission. So let's just wrap up. So I say yes. oh my God, to see a really good G.I. Joe film would be amazing. The Hulk. If you're not collecting the Hulk, you should probably, because it's actually pretty good. So that would be another yes. And then Batman and Robin would be a no. So yeah, that's it for me. So again, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to give me a like, give me a thumbs up, give me the middle finger, give me a subscribe if you're not subscribed to the channel yet. Why the hell not? We talk about movies, we talk about comics, and we talk about board games. I do playthroughs as well. So talking about that, remember that Lords of LA late pledge is up. Please, if you can help me on that, that would be great. Since it was already funded on Kickstarter, no matter what you give, you'll be getting the product because I'm already making it no matter what. And on top of that, Mark Spears and I are, remember that the link is in the description below. So you can click on the Indiegogo link, it'll take you over there. Plus, Mark Spears and I are working on our Kickstarter for Riftstorm Classic Monsters. So he's got a full thing of artwork for classic monsters. We're creating a card game around it. It's going to be an area-controlled deck builder. We're doing a lot of play testing right now. I'm dealing with China. I'm dealing with the marketing. We're going to probably shoot that out in April. So I'm really excited. It's going to be lots of fun. The game is lots of fun. So anyway, look for that. And again, thank you guys so much for watching. And check out some other videos as well. And you guys have a great weekend. All right. Bye-bye, guys.